Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Jade Empire Closed Fist walkthrough. So the last video there we had just entered the Lotus Assassin Fortress. And so we've got all kinds of fun stuff to go here. So basically we have been assigned to the Lotus Acolyte Trainer, I think that's his name anyway, Master Gong. And basically his one of his like overseers, I guess, or one, a person that's kind of a step up above him is called Master Shin, and basically he's sort of agreed to kind of let us do whatever we, well, I should say, leave our individuality intact, and thus, perhaps that would be a way to help. With our rise in the Lotus Assassins, as well as his own. So what we're going to do here is actually kind of take out a bunch of Master Gong's enemies for him. And, yeah, we've got some dialogue here, which should be fun.
Damn the heavens for the fools I lead. I am destined to suffer for their incompetence, and I have one man to blame for it. Shin. The old scorpion had one of his followers shatter a spirit shard during training. There are ghosts everywhere. I've lost 8 slaves and 3 acolytes to them. You, New Blood, get over there and occupy those ghosts until I can get real Lotus Assassins to clean them up. Golem production cannot be delayed by this.
That does not sound like an order you were meant to survive.
Go on. It's your first sacrifice for your new life. I'm sure it will be glorious.
Okay, so it looks like the Lotus Assassins are having a little trouble with some ghosts down here. Before we go in there, I'm actually going to explore just a little bit. There's a couple of rooms down here that we'll want to take a peek in. What is this guy doing? Wow, this is like the lamest room I've ever seen. There's literally nothing in there other than a dude. Alright, anyways, here's a cabinet. Let's pop that bad boy. What? Really? There's nothing in that. That's really strange. Okay. I mean, what was the point? So strange. Alright, anyways. Here's the Keeper of the Archive. And there's a bunch of different book stands in here. I know there's for sure 2 different book stands and at least 1 scroll stand. So we'll have to make sure that we check all these out. I just wanted to check there and make sure I had my Gem of the Frail Scholar on. So the Grand Inquisitor's will. In your obedience to Death Hands, do not neglect to heed the complex demands of our Mistress Jia. Second in glory only to the Hand of Death himself. Okay, so this is basically just unquestioning loyalty to Mistress Jia. Demands that we be cunning, ruthless, and complete in our loyalty. Yeah, it's just, okay. Be loyal. Alright, that's not that original, but whatevs. Alright, so here's the Way of the Lotus. Lieutenant, save 1, obedience. Yeah, so this should be maybe obvious to anybody who is familiar with authoritarianism. Basically, this is just why the Lotus Assassins are just horrid, because their only tenet is essentially obedience to the higher masters. So, and you'll see that throughout here with the different configuration of the rabbit, with the different acolytes and whatnot.
Greetings, young Lotus Acolyte. I am the Keeper of the Archive. What can this humble servant of the Order do for you? Our Order has existed for 20 years. I have chronicled our new role and rise to glory. Much is mundane, minor shifts in power, the results of various campaigns. True secrets are held only in the minds of Grand Inquisitor Jia and Death's Hand. I will answer within the limits of what someone of your ranking is permitted to know. Recent or old entries, you must give specifics. All you are allowed to know of your masters is that Death's Hand is the will of the Emperor, and Grand Inquisitor Gia rules this place for him. Obey their wishes when they are made apparent to you, or you will be destroyed. That is all an acolyte needs to understand. You may, however, ask about your Master Gong. He is not important enough to warrant secrecy. A thoroughly average assassin relegated to indoctrinating acolytes due to his failure to demonstrate leadership qualities. He is not well liked. His mediocrity is magnified by the successes of Master Shin, an assassin who arrived at the same time and has catapulted through the ranks. Coincidentally, Master Shin is the one who personally documented many of Gong's failures. There is, of course, nothing strange about this. I will answer within the limits of what someone of your ranking is permitted to know. Recent or old entries, you must give specifics. You are permitted to know that Death's Hand returned from Dirge as the Emperor's trusted confidant after all others around him proved to be traitors. After defeating the Drought, the Emperor was no longer a slave to the natural order of things. He needed utterly loyal disciples to replace and kill doubters. The Order of the Lotus was quickly transformed from its weak role under Prince Qin. Death's Hand was the new way, and those who disagreed were destroyed. All who did were killed, except one who first hid his doubt. On a mission to cleanse a traitor's family, he rejected Death's Hand and turned on his fellows. The bodies were unrecognizable. More have died to him over the years, but few remain who know his face. He was our most skilled, most vicious, and most hated. He escaped death, but there is no greater penalty for a Lotus assassin than to be removed from the sight of Death's Hand and our Emperor. No doubt many of his years have been worse than death. Once you are truly indoctrinated, you will know the hunger to serve that such loyalty brings. His name is not spoken to the acolytes. You must understand that to oppose Death's Hand is to lose all connection to your masters. Even if you live, you do not exist. There are few fates worse than being reduced to nothing. Lotus assassins can belong nowhere else. Service to Death's Hand is your life. Master Gong has been lax in indoctrinating you. No doubt he wants to make use of your fiery disposition before stripping you of it. You will come to understand. Soon you will have nothing else but your life here. Your role as a Lotus assassin leaves no room for anything other than loyalty to Death's Hand and the Emperor. All who did were killed, except one who first hid his doubt. On a mission to cleanse a traitor's family, he rejected Death's Hand and turned on his fellows. The bodies were unrecognizable. More have died to him over the years, but few remain who know his face. He was our most skilled, most vicious, and most hated. I will answer within... You are permitted to know that Death's Hand returned from Dirge as the Emperor's trusted confidant after all others around him proved to be traitors. After defeating the Drought, the Emperor was no longer a slave to the natural order of things. He needed utterly loyal disciples to replace and kill doubters. The Order of the Lotus was quickly transformed from its weak role under Prince Qin. Death's Hand was the new way, and those who disagreed were destroyed. I will answer within the limits of what someone of your ranking is permitted to know. Recent or... Slaves continue to be brought to the fortress from the wall and unimportant villages that have no voice to object. Our golem force continues to grow. Operations in Tien's Landing have temporarily halted, but we received glorious news that a hated enemy of the Emperor has been delivered to the palace. The accomplices who hid him were butchered, their pitiful village razed. We look forward to a day when all who oppose our masters are dealt with. It is unimportant. All that matters is that he was caught. We don't need to know any more than that. It is a glorious validation of all that we do to serve our masters. Goodbye, Acolyte. Serve our masters well.
Okay, so the Keeper of the Records tells us a bit, but not like too much. So the undeniable fire here is one thing that I didn't catch until this time. So I've played through this game a bunch of different times, and this was the first time that I realized that the Empire fought alongside the Spirit Monks to take down the Horse Lord and the Horse Lord army. And so essentially, the Empire betrayed the Spirit Monks, which, you know, again, it's the first time I ever really caught this. But yeah, so Zheng Sai was I think that was the leader of the horsemen, and he just the Empire could not take him down, and so again Spirit Monks actually helped the Empire in you know, kind of solving that issue. So again, this is that's the first time that I had ever picked up on that fact. But you know, interesting that and it even, I guess it makes it feel like the Empire is even more, you know, dastardly than you might initially think. But anyways, all right. So we've got probably some dialogue here with Master Gong to get through. Okay, so I forgot I like how the ghost mission, I guess if you even want to call it that, is sort of like it pretty clearly shows how little the Lotus Assassins think of new recruits. Essentially, we're basically just being thrown at, you know, the room with the ghost to try to just slow them down.
Weakling acolytes headed to the slaughter. How many of the ghosts killed so far?
11, 12, does it matter? Worthless as one, worthless as a group.
Go on, then. Let's see how you fare. We'll need to sluice the blood out of there by the time they manage to destroy those ghosts.
Alright, the attendants expect that we're not going to last very long. But, well, how wrong they are. They have no idea how wrong they are. Alright, anyway, so we've got a room full of a couple of ghosts here. Looks like 4. Yeah, not too bad. It does appear to be at least one. Yeah, one is throwing ice chunks at us. There's also another one. I want to say one of these has... I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different battle, though. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of spears. So maybe Alright, so one down, not too bad. I don't know why I didn't try a harmonic in here, but... Oh, probably because they're ghosts. I think these guys are immune. Or maybe they are. Who knows? Hard to say sometimes. I feel like sometimes the ghosts are and sometimes they're not for whatever reason. Alright, anyways. Here's the Hidden Fist. Oh yeah, this guy is not immune. And here I whiffed. And here's also a really good example of why Hidden Fist is garbage. I'm trying to land this, like, whatever, power strike. And because he's disoriented, he's like drunkenly stumbling out of the way. It's so bad. It's such a garbage. Yeah. I've got nothing but hate for Hidden Fist. But anyways, it does actually seem like it lasts. Wow. Well, anyways, all right. So the ghosts are done. We did it. Let's kick some vases. And we'll probably have to report back to Gong after this. I don't think we can go anywhere else quite yet. Inactive clay golem, lovely. This entire room of golems will actually attack us at one point, but I think only if you pick certain open palm choices. Because I don't believe I got attacked by these golems when I played through this time. So yeah, all right. More dialogue with Gong.
You live. And the ghosts are gone? Well, I did not expect this. It would seem that I have a competent acolyte for once. Interesting. Recruits are rarely of use before we strip them of their outside identities, but you beg a more interesting application. Could you be the one I have waited for? Your duties would normally include a period of deprivation in a cell until every hint of self and identity was stripped away. It is a draining, brutal awakening. I need a favored protege, someone willing to risk everything in my service. I will preserve your intellect, allow your inventive mind to remain, in exchange for 2 tasks. One is your duty anyway. The other is something to secure your future at the heart of the Assassins. Lotus acolytes are utterly expendable. You deserve better. Ah, that is true. I like that you do not suffer formality. I have struggled under the weight of the same thing from others myself. You must operate the soul extractor, past the room where you fought the ghosts. In the coming weeks, you will help swell the ranks of the Empire's glorious golem army. Golems are fueled by the souls of the dead. The recently dead, it turns out, make far more obedient and powerful golems, especially if brutally killed. We no longer mind the necropolis for souls that linger near their resting place. We butcher slaves instead, and extract their souls into spirit shards. Tonight we require a shard of exceptional quality for a Jade Golem that will control the latest battalion of golems. You will oversee this in the extraction chamber. You clearly deserve better than the short life of a regular acolyte. Your ability surprised me. Use it to surprise the others as well. Help me gain the power to help you. Kill Master Shin, my superior. You are beneath notice, but you have surprising skill. No one will suspect you are planning such a thing, and no one will miss you if I have to kill you for refusing. You are perceptive. It is a tricky matter, and therefore a good test for an otherwise expendable acolyte. Your kind die often in the machinations between masters.
You're just fodder to him. Make sure we stay useful, or he'll find another favorite.
The politics of the Lotus Assassin Order are complicated. It's all right if murder is suspected, so long as it appears deserved because of incompetence. That is your task to figure out, Acolyte. This is a dangerous place. Find a way for him to have an accident that disgraces him. I, of course, must not be implicated. Talk to my acolytes at their stations, in the Golem Press Room and the Soul Extractor. These are dangerous machines. Find a sharp corner Shin can crack his temple on. Return to me when you have an idea for an appropriate accident. I don't care what it is, as long as there is a corpse for me to gloat over in the end. Proceed, but do not waste my time. I will hear. Shards infuse the golems with life. Souls are extracted from the vessel that holds them, whether a corpse or a slave, and sealed within a crystal shard. The more recent and brutal the death, the more effective the golem. Our soul extraction process is deliberately painful. Essence gems are trinkets that can focus minimal amounts of chi. There are very few people who can make use of them effectively. Golems are utterly obedient, but that does not mean that they are always easy to control. In great numbers, there can be discord. Jade Golems are infused with spirit shards made of multiple souls. They are highly ordered servants, and they serve as pacifiers for the other Golems. 1 or 2 Golems can be controlled by will alone, but an army requires these Jade intermediaries to maintain order. Such numbers are dangerous without a lieutenant. I do not know. Hundreds? More? Many are here, waiting for a Jade Golem to command them. In the end, we will replace the weaklings of the Imperial Army entirely. Imagine it, Acolyte. An army of loyal, nearly indestructible golems, dedicated to enforcing the will of the Emperor under Death's hand. A beautiful sight. Proceed. You already know enough about him. He is insufferable, concerned only about his own advancement. He sabotages my efforts at every turn. When he is gone, I will ascend in rank, and I will reward acolytes that are loyal to me. Perhaps I will even introduce you to Grand Inquisitor Gia in the heart of the fortress. Stop right there, Acolyte. I am well aware of what that Lotus Expositioner records. Rumors and lies routinely turned over to Grand Inquisitor Gia. If you wish to remain more than a footnote in her pages, you will not speak to me again about her. The old fool will see my potential, and you will help me. Proceed. Remember your tasks, Acolyte. Create a spirit shard in the extraction chamber for the Jade Golem, and find a creative way to kill and disgrace Master Shin. You can also seek training from Acolyte Trainer Guang. I'm sure you are her superior, but she might have something of use to you.
An acolyte of Gong's, So am I. Let's identify what training you need by sparring for a short time. Let's keep it non-lethal for now. You'll find you have enough enemies in this place. We acolytes are utterly expendable. Good. Remember, no killing blows. I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to practice those later.
Okay, so we are taking on Acolyte Trainer Guang. Wow, that's very close to Gong. That's not that was intended, but we're gonna beat her down pretty quick, and we will get an immediate promotion, which I think is sort of funny. But, yeah, let's just...
Well, you would appear to have more than a passing knowledge of combat. I could almost see some kind of flaw, but I was clearly outclassed.
Yes, you were. I knew this acolyte was something special, but I didn't think my trainer would be made to look like a fool. You, New Blood, you will be the trainer now. When I am promoted, you will train all my acolytes. You, assist him if you can even do that.
It would seem that you have taken over my duties. I will still serve as an advisor, as Master Gong ordered. There are techniques I can share. In truth, I did not like being a trainer. Life for any of Master Gong's acolytes is rough and short, but especially so for trainers. Master Shin sees to that. My duties, your duties now, include training Master Shin's personal entourage. In the past, if a trainer was too good, Shin had that trainer killed to keep Gong weak. I think one member of his entourage is a full Lotus assassin. I have survived by appearing unimportant and staying out of the fight between Gong and Shin. Accidents happen, and even the attendants in his entourage are just acolytes, and therefore are utterly expendable. There would not be much fuss. However, you would probably find yourself training the hidden Lotus assassin in the next bout. Any skilled acolytes under Gong are quickly disposed of. Are you mad? Well, it doesn't matter. You must train one at a time. If you seem to be too strong a target, I'm sure they will accommodate your death wish. You're in a hurry to make enemies, aren't you? Very well. Master Shin has a new attendant in his entourage who's supposed to be trained. Attendant Kitan. She is replacing one of the acolytes who did not return from Tian's Landing. There was no explanation. I assume he was weak and was discarded. You can find her and all of the other attendants by the doors to the inner chambers. They wait there for when Shin leaves to inspect new slave shipments. I showed my ability in the arena, and when I asked, their recruiter agreed. I have only one skill, and this was the best place to exploit it. Combat, killing. The army was too strict, the arena too tame. Here, when they want an enemy destroyed, that enemy is destroyed. Sometimes family and all. We are all here for one reason, and that includes you. We are killers, plain and simple. There are no Lotus assassins with hearts of gold. I have learned a number of techniques.
Okay, so finally onto the good stuff. Now, it's actually interesting. You can buy the Ice Shard style here if you picked the Dire Flame at the beginning of the game, which I completely forgot about this. And man, look at that price tag, though. Completely not worth it. And especially because, I mean, I never use magic styles, so why bother? But, again, interesting that it's actually found here. I completely forgot about that. I thought that, you know, when you picked that choice at the beginning of the game, that was it, and you were never going to be able to get the other one, but not the case. Anyways, so we're going to buy, what was that? Eye of Darkness or something like that, and then here's Window into the Abyss. I think technically all of these techniques are good for a Closed Fist playthrough, but I'm going to skip out on Fearsome Visage just because I don't really think we need it. And we'll just save a little bit of silver on that bad boy. But yeah, like I said though, anyways, yeah, so yeah, Intimidation +3 and Charm -1. I mean, that's okay, but I generally stay away from any of the techniques that are, you know, related to conversation skills, just because, again, they're usually not worth it, so. Alright, looks like I'm going to chat with Gong maybe again here.
So, you are the new trainer. You think you have something to show us? Master Shin has us test each of Gong's trainers to make sure they're skilled.
But not too skilled. Am I your next student? I assure you, I am more than capable of defending myself. I was made an attendant because of my skills.
You would think to persuade us to abandon Master Shin and join Gong's pathetic faction. Then you know nothing about how true acolytes are indoctrinated.
Our lives belong to Master Shin. Through his guidance, we will one day ascend to serve Grand Inquisitor Jia and Death's Hand.
Our loyalty is absolute. We are nothing without our duty to Master Shin. Perhaps Gong is more lenient and left your mind untouched, but that is why he is weak.
Is that so? I would be more concerned about yourself if I were you. Let's move this fight to the Hall of Induction so I have room to enjoy this.
Okay, so one of our goals here is to get rid of all of Shin's attendants, which basically just means murdering them. So we'll start working on that right now. Why not? We're here already. And oh man, I actually put points into Hidden Fist. That makes me really sad. Huh. That was a horrible idea. That's interesting. Anyways, all right. Oh, poisoned, really? You poisoned me? Attendant Kitan. And, that's what I was going for. Yeah, I wanted to splatter these guys. Yes. Get some of that. All right. So, let's head back downstairs. Unfortunately, they kind of teleport you up to the, you know, the entrance here, or the, whatever, the main hall. So we'll have to just run back down. I think we have to repeat this a couple of times, which, again, a little annoying, but whatever. Be nice to be able to just, you know, fight them right down here. It's not like we really need the room, but whatevs.
You killed Kitan. The life of an acolyte is forfeit when they walk into this place, yes. But for one of Gong's ragged minions to do this is unforgivable.
Do you think you can make such an insult and disguise it as a simple training mishap? You are a fool.
If you are ready, trainer, your next student is waiting. It is my task to make examples of Gong's acolytes who show too much promise. My skills are above question. Gong is about to lose another of his pitiful acolytes. Come, let's move to the hall, and I will end this.
Alright, next Lotus Assassin. It's got a really strange stance. So this one is Attendant Kai Feng, looks like. He gets splattered too. So easy.
You killed Kai Feng? But he was fully trained.
Such insolence will not go unpunished. We'll make an example of you soon enough. Your corpse will be dragged before your master.
But Kai Feng was a full assassin. How could he have fallen?
Shut up. This fool will pay. You'll see. You'll regret this.
Alright, so the other two attendants probably a little worried now because apparently Kai Feng, whatever. He was a full, what was it, fully trained? Whatever that means. But, yeah, regardless of his training, we put him down pretty quick there. He should have worked on being immune to harmonic combos. That would have been my recommendation.
Lotus Acolyte of Gong, we must make an example of you. You have insulted the attendants of Master Shin's entourage.
The masters do not care whether acolytes live or die, so it is up to us to avenge the deaths of our fellows.
We will not appear weak. We are the attendants of Master Shin. You will die as penance for your insult. Your death will be an example to all of Gong's fools.
Oh man, I forgot about this. So I was thinking, it's kind of weird that the two last attendants were upstairs and they didn't just fight us up there. Well, it turns out that's because they wanted to fight us down here with everybody else. So here's your battle royale, which I don't know. I think this went pretty well. I didn't really need to use harmonics on these guys, to be completely honest, but I don't know. Maybe it was just being cocky. Whiff. Oh, missed that one. Time ran out. That's alright. We'll try again. I like how Gong is sitting there with his weapons out, but he just doesn't fight at all. He's just like, whatever. I'll let my dude, take care of this. If he lives, he lives. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It's whatevs. No investment whatsoever. The weird thing is, though, after this, he puts his weapons away, too. I think, anyway. Don't make me into a liar.
That was an impressive display, Acolyte. I've never seen Shin's attendants so handily dismissed. Master Shin's enemies are probably very impressed with your actions. I can only speculate, of course.
Smarmy idiot. He wants our help as long as there's no risk to himself.
No, I was totally wrong. He still does have his axes out, and he's going to have them out as we walk by him again. Yep, right there. 2 axes. Stealing our style. Whatever. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is head to the Golem, or I think it's the Soul Extractor room, my bad. And we'll try to get ourselves a crystal. Soul crystal.
You approach the Soul Extractor. The assassins want you to create a spirit shard to crush a life to power a golem puppet. They are very efficient in their brutality now. It wasn't always like this. Fear used to be the primary tactic. Destroy the family of one to ensure the loyalty of all. It caused chaos, uprisings, close allies turning on each other. Those inclined to betrayal fear it the most. Imagine if you could corrupt the machine and return the chaos of disloyalty the Emperor dreads. I was one of the elite, and before that part of the Order of the Lotus, but I'm still shut out of some places. No matter your motives, helping the assassins harms you. If you corrupt the Spirit Shard, you can move forward while also crippling their golems. They seek control. There used to be a chance to disobey when the order given was too harsh. The victims pointlessly innocent. Now there is only obedience. There is something chaotic enough to disrupt that. In the elevator room to come, descend to the deepest mine, to the oldest graves. Just go. The thieves await you. Remember, the deepest mines. They are closed now for being too troublesome. That is where you will find what you need.
Okay, so Zoo's suggestion is to go down to the lowest part of the mine and get a crystal from down there.
You must be Master Gong's latest acolyte. I heard there might be a new recruit, but they typically aren't ready for service so quickly. Stripping a will can take time. But Master Gong is known for being generous to those who please him. You must be quite exceptional to be allowed into service so directly. This device is the Soul Extractor. It has a loftier name, but we are here to glorify Emperor Sun through Death's hand, not pay tribute to some distant celestial lord. It is mounted on an elevator that reaches deep into the necropolis. Until recently, we excavated bodies to extract spirits that lingered near their graves. The results were unpredictable. Now we use slaves. Freshly killed spirits make the best golems. The more painful the death, the better. The extractor is not gentle.
Horrible. If the Emperor really is behind this, he's a monster.
The soul extractor certainly kills whatever is placed within it, but little is left of the victim, so you cannot prove they did not belong there. Only a spirit shard remains. The golem press is far more dangerous, but I have nothing to do with that ungainly device. I prefer the elegance of ripping slaves apart. Then you should select a suitable victim for the procedure. I would recommend one of the slaves on the prison level. Selecting from elsewhere could bring unfortunate results, and I would not wish to see you disgraced so early in your time with us. Use the lever to select a floor, and this platform will move there. You are free to go where you wish, but I would avoid the lower mines. They are restless. The older tombs have spirits that have festered in their hatred for ages. They are not easily controlled. That is why we use slaves to power the golems now. As well, the mines are simply not stable. Tombs can collapse, so we take care not to move too many golems at once, to avoid shaking the foundations of the fortress. What You should get on with your work. Grand Inquisitor Gia is growing impatient for the Jade Golem to be completed. Select a suitable victim and create a spirit shard.
Okay, so we're gonna head to, what was this, the prison level first? And I think I tried a couple of different variations of kind of how to deal with the prisoners here. Yeah, main level. Yeah, I think we need to go to the prison level. Yeah, we'll start from the top and work our way down. Obviously, we were already on the main level there. So again, I actually think I did this just a little bit different, or I tried some different ways to finish off this particular quest.
Who are you? Some new acolyte? I've seen a lot of your kind. I watch over the slaves you deliver to the extractor. The inevitability of their deaths is amusing. Haven't even earned your markings yet, I see. Master Gong must be getting weak to allow you such freedom already. Do what you...
Master Lotus Assassin, have pity on us.
This is no assassin, fool! A Lotus Acolyte has no authority to do anything for you. One of the Masters could select you as servants, but they have subtle tastes.
Forgive me. I saw a new face and hoped there was kindness there. I was mistaken. I am a criminal, I suppose. For lightening a few purses, I was sentenced to work on the wall, but I was delivered here instead. Some of the others were captured by pirates and sold. One merely asked why the Imperial Army reports to the Lotus Assassins now. We did nothing to deserve this harsh fate. You must be able to see that. Hundreds, thousands, I don't know. All that were here when I arrived are gone. There are scratches on the walls, names of wives, of daughters. What did so many do to deserve such a horrible death? We can hear them scream, one by one. You would do that?
Never doubt when someone gives their word.
You are a long way from the authority you need to make such promises. Don't get attached to them. There will always be more.
Yes.
What do you want now? You tread dangerous ground, Acolyte. Unless you plan to speed their processing in the extractor, you risk being punished for your impudence.
You will not keep them this way.
You demand it? You are clearly not here as an Acolyte. If you want to die for these scrawny dogs, so be it.
Okay, so this is the start to the open palm way to complete this quest, but we won't end it quite like that, obviously. And then we get a bunch of experience and a bunch of silver.
We are free, if only for a little while. There are sure to be other guards. Thank you for what you have done, but I'm not sure where to go now.
The mine! The smaller one, remember? Before they stopped digging out the graves, there was light from the surface coming in. I heard someone got away once. I don't know if they made it out of the necropolis, but it is a chance.
But there will be guards. Then we have no choice. Come. If we stay here, we die. If we fight, there is a chance.
This is heartless. Were you always like this and I didn't see it?
Let's go!
What is this? Who opened the slave cells?
Fight! It is our only chance!
Vermin! I'll kill you all!
They are all dead. I don't know whether to thank you for release or curse you for this fate.
I apologize for the cruel sport you were put through.
I can't get out of here soon enough. This is nothing but a nightmare. You're demons, all of you.
Okay, so that's one way to resolve this with the closed palm. You can essentially free the prisoners, but then tell which, I mean, to be honest, to be like that, this seems like the faithful way to solve this, you know, in a closed fist manner. That being that, you know, essentially unleashing the prisoners on the guards, and kind of having the prisoners sort of free themselves, sort of. You know, obviously we still had to open the door for them, but yeah, that feels like the right way to do it. But I'll be honest, I do this in a little bit of a different way, just because I feel like the rewards are a little bit better. But we'll have to explore that in the next video, as I am out of time. So as always, hope the guide was helpful though, and hope you join me for more videos. Thanks for watching.